What makes this amp so special? The fact that it's easily serviceable, easily modifiable, and you could voice it to sound however you want. So what did I do? I picked this amp up. I said, we're gonna turn this amp into my Lone Star. I ended up meeting a guy, not on Craigslist, and I found him scrolling looking for custom amp builders. And I went to his doorstep in dire straits, and I handed him a schematic to the Lone Star Special. And I had one extra channel to work with. We did a Dumble mod with a mid-boost, preamp boost, bright switch, and then we did a Lone Star Special in channel 2. So let's take a ride to the man who made this happen and see what he has to say about it. We just arrived here at the lair, Rock and Roll Amps HQ. You are Jack. This is the mastermind.
Hey,
a little short story behind this whole amp here is I sold an amp that I really loved, and I wanted to have it recreated in a hand-wired amp because it's cheaper, it's better that way, it's more reliable. This guy, Jack, who's standing right here beside me, I'm already putting him to work. I'm such a terrible person, right, Jack?
Oh, you're the worst.
I'm the worst. I'm probably his worst customer. I came down here, and it was originally supposed to be like 1 or 2 mods, and then his hand started falling off after the laundry list that I handed him.
Total ball breaker.
Yeah, total ball breaker. With that being said, he's going to show you guys exactly what made this amp what it is.
We had to put in a transformer for the rectifier.
So
right?
yes, I requested that we put in a tube rectifier to create a saggy response with the feel. And one of those things that involved was changing the transformer out.
Adding one.
Adding one.
Yeah. So what I did was, see, there's a little transformer in here
that Jack had to add. What did that involve? So you had to put that in the side.
Yeah, I had to find a place inside the box that was safe so that it didn't hit the power transformer, because this is a very confined area. And just for convenience, I put these push-on connectors so that if you ever want to do work on this, all you have to do is clip this, push-ons, and now you can pull the chassis out. I would advise you not to buy a black face. Don't buy a drip edge because they're too valuable. They're great amplifiers. These regular silver face are much less expensive. I would turn you down. If you brought a black face to me, I won't do it.
Because of the value of it?
Yeah, I don't, it's a vintage piece of beautiful gear. The Lone Star Special circuit. It's really not very, very different than a standard Fender circuit. I did everything from here to here. So you got the first stage and the second stage. Once you come out of the tone stack, it goes into this fancy brightness circuit, but it's very special because when you listen to it, it's got a certain crispness to it that's not offensive. The only thing that's found in a Fender is a bright switch circuit, which uses just this 120 picofarad bright cap. So anyway, within this amplifier, this is the bright circuit right here. So you got 1, 2, 3 capacitors and a resistor. So that's sitting right here. As you can see, I reused the Fender circuit card.
Mesa themselves, they like to compare the Mesa Lonestar Special to a Vox. They say it's like a Vox and a Fender had a baby. I don't see it. I don't hear it.
Maybe tonally they hear it, but circuit-wise, I don't see it. Anyway, what else? I added the mid-control over here. So I think that's about it for just this channel. He had me move the power and standby switch to the front. Convenience. Okay. This is a cathode bypass and fixed bypass switch. Cathode bias tends to give you a nice spongier feeling, a little bit more sag, and it also drops your wattage.
And the difference is noticeable. I've actually toyed around with it. Do you think that would make a big difference if I went to solid state to the tube rectifier?
It will be stiffer and more like playing in a more modern amplifier.
For sure. You also made adjustments to the voltage of this amp already, right? So,
yes.
Yeah, originally this amp, Jack was saying that this amp runs at 450 volts.
Probably 450.
And you padded it down with a resistor.
Well, the first padding down is putting in the GZ34.
I'm pretty sure it was a 5U.
Oh, sorry, yes, it's a 5U4. So that's going to drop it down. As far as the Dumble side, it starts over here. It uses this first preamp tube. This is from the circuit, the 124 Dumble circuit.
He has a whole stack of these Dumble schematics.
I've been studying these things and buildings for many years. It's the 124 preamp, so it basically sits around here. All right, all of this is happening right here, right over here. This is the local negative feedback area, which really cleans the preamp up beautifully. This is the mid control with a push-pull, which has the mid boost. I converted the deep switch to a bright switch. All right, right over here is the preamp boost. When the preamp boost is engaged, you no longer have control of the tone stack. It's voiced wonderfully just the way it is.
I tend to be using this amp with the mid boost on and the bright switch. I haven't been using the preamp boost as much because I like to have control over the parameters. You know, that's like a personal preference thing. I boost the shit out of the treble, and I run that shit at almost 10 all the time. Who knows? Maybe that'll lessen the life of the tubes. I don't know. Maybe Jack could shed some light on that. How these tubes looking? They need to be replaced.
Yeah, you're gonna lessen the life of the tubes.
Yeah. Fuck it, right? I think what makes this Dumble and Lone Star amp very unique is the fact that it's tube rectified. There is no Dumble out there that's tube rectified, right, Jack?
Maybe the Tweedledee.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. I've never seen a real Dumble except in photographs.
Are Dumbles even real?
Of course they're real.
Jack, is this something you would recommend somebody do?
Listen, the Bassman amp as it is a great sounding amplifier, and a lot of guitar players use it as a guitar amp. But if you want to differentiate, get a few different flavors and tonalities that you like, then yeah, I would recommend it.
Did this drive you nearly to suicide, this project?
It took a lot of thinking, a lot of head scratching, tearing up paper and saying...
Is this an amp that you would use, personally?
Yeah, of course.
If anybody out there is ever trying to make an amp their own, a Fender Bassman is not a bad place to start. Get one that's not really sought after because you're going to be gutting it out. You can reach out to Jack at Rock and Roll Amps. I will link in the description. He will make it happen for you. There's nothing better than having and owning a piece of gear that is serviceable. So, we got some company that's going to be test driving this amp. His name is
Aaron.
Aaron.